Okay, so I figured instead of documenting this like in text, I'd rather do it through just like a video because that's way easier to explain. So today it's Tuesday, October 7th. I'm going to just quickly show my confluences. Today was a really bad day because I did dumb things. So as we can see, 4 hours is definitely bullish. Even daily is bullish. I didn't even mean to click that. And 1 hour is also looking bullish. So up until like this point right here, even, right? Even though, no, like we'd probably be trying to trade up until this point right here, like this edge. Okay. So bias is bullish. Now, as you can see, we have Asian low, Asian high, and then London goes and sweeps out Asian low, and then goes up, sweeps Asian high. So that means if we go back to this thing, to be, if liquidity sweep is in pre-market, wait for 5-minute manipulation. This green high right here is in fact in pre-market. So that means that I don't know which microphone it's using. I hope it's my AirPods. That means this pre-market right here had a liquidity sweep, which means we're going to have to be careful. So as we can see here, there is a fair value gap. We kind of like go up in there. We have a low, a high, a lower low in there, and then we have a break of structure right here on this green line. No, not right there. Right here. And then we go up all the way. Then we have a fair value gap here. Like first we go up, then we create a imbalance. I think that's what it's called. Actually, let me check. It was a very recent confluence that I've learned. Fibonacci, Baker block, order block. I think I put it under fair value gap. Nope. Anyways, so yeah, basically when there's a fair value gap and then price blows through, so we basically create another fair value gap, basically right here. This zone is like it's like a Clash Royale Evo of a fair value gap, basically. So this right here, there'll be red, and that'll also be red. And then I can remove both of those. So that's our super fair value gap. Anyways, so we go in here, create this, then go down, retrace into this, and then get magneted by this, and go up in there and kind of disrespect it even. And as you can see, this was at 15:30, so 1.5 hours into market open. And that is kind of like late, right? Because you would want to have a trade by this time. Like you would want to have been stopped out or, take profit at this time because that's where the new money is, right? And I was kind of annoyed because I was waiting for a confluence or I was waiting for price to go down because in my head, price would have to retrace back into this zone, right? Where we were before. So it could manipulate Asian lows, which I mean, they're pretty much already swept, but so would manipulate London lows. And that is kind of weird because I was focused on the wrong things. As we saw earlier, our bias is definitely bullish. Like this is bullish. And so I had this misconception in my head that we would have to go back in there, which is bearish, which is kind of dumb because that's against my bias, right? So what I thought was going to happen is, right, like you're seeing this trend right now. Like you're going to say like, oh yeah, it's obvious, right? Because you saw what happened after here. But just imagine me basically, it's 14, let's do 14.15 on this blue line. You see this trend right here. Notable as well is that when you zoom out, let me go on 1 hour, you have a couple highs over here. So you have this high, and then you also have this high, and there's also this high up here. And if you zoom out on the 1 month time frame, right, this is the highest point we have been in, like, what is this? The past years, since 2016, right? This is a fucking decade high right here, right? So I thought off of this decade high, we would for sure get, a reversal, right? Price didn't really react off of it. And I was kind of annoyed because what is happening? Well, I'm not getting a trade today. That's annoying. And then I realized I kind of had it in front of my eyes this whole time. If you look right here, this bullish trend, like it was obvious. I thought that we would be, oh, there's so many lines on the screen right now, I'm so sorry. But you would think that we would basically go up like we're here right now, that we would go up, sweep this. Okay, well, there's another one. So maybe we go up, sweep this. Okay, there's another one that we're actually going to sweep. This is the decade high that I was talking about. And I was like, okay, like right now this has to reverse, right? But then I was kind of like here and I saw that this super fair value gap got disrespected. So like that means we have no support. That means price will not bounce back off and go back down off of that because it didn't close in there. So that's why I was annoyed. However, the way I should have traded this is the following. So let me remove those lines again so it's a little more tidy. I am going to hide this. Can you hide that? No, you can't. Oh. Okay, whatever. I'll just delete them. I want this to be tidy because we don't even need anything up there. Because my actual trade, remember, the bias is bullish. So I have no reason to do a bearish trade on a bullish bias. Just because I think that we're going to go back into London session and somehow manipulate London session's lows that are all the way down here. Mind you, we're up here right now, like the time of this happening. So that's weird, right? The way I should have traded is, you see right here, we have a low. Then we have a high. We have made this weird looking fair value gap. I still don't know what that is because I've never seen anything like this. Normally the fair value gap would be a full candle, but this is like partly wicks. So I don't know how to mark that or if I marked it correctly, but what I should have done is low, high, higher, low. This is our high right here. We go up right there, basically on the on London high on the green line. That is our liquidity sweep, not liquidity sweep. Well, also our liquidity sweep actually, but that is also our break of structure. You see low, high, lower low, higher low. Let me do it again. Brother. So low, high, higher low, and we go up here and we go past this high, which means that we're going to make inevitably a higher high, no matter what happens, which means we have a break of structure. Looking right here, a break of structure is the first confirmation confluence that we should look at. Right, okay. So we have one confluence. Then we go up, we go down here. This is a fair value gap. We have dipped into the fair value gap, closed the candle, found support, and gone back out of it. That's our second confluence. That's a fair value gap on continuation right here. I'm not sure whether that's correct to use it this way because you're supposed to, as far as I understand it, you're supposed to go reversal, then you have to go confirmation and then continuation. Here we have the reversal, then we have the continuation down here, that's our value gap, and then we have confirmation, which is kind of like, I don't know how to deal with that yet. That's like, I'm still learning, obviously. So, but basically we have a fair value gap that got respected as well as a break of structure. If I drew the Fibonacci, my Fib retracement is super weird. It's like the default one. It kind of sucks ass. I don't know how to use it or if I'm using it properly. But like, this is probably wrong actually. I would have to draw it like, I think if I'm going bullish, I would have to draw it from here to here, right? I don't fucking know, but I'm sure it would have been respected if I drew it correctly. So that is 1, 2, 3, we did not have an SMT divergence. But if we look here, I didn't draw this out, but we also have a fair value gap right here. And this is not just a fair value gap. This is an inverse fair value gap. It's actually a Evo fair value gap as well, because you can see right here, those two overlap. So it's a Clash Royale Evo Mega Knight, right? So even more of a valuable confluence. So that's 3. We also blow through this. So I had basically, like, I didn't count. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, like 6, 4, 5, fucking 5 confluences. This one didn't count, and we didn't have an SMT. So that's the only thing that was missing, basically, because if I would have gone with a I need a GAN box. Let me get a GAN box. There. Oh no, all mine's fucked. So usually you would do the equilibrium with that. But yeah, the 0.5 would be. Can I mod this right now? Template? No, whatever. So just act like you only see the 0.5 line on this. But basically, we are definitely above that. No, actually, no. Oh no, wait, hold on. No, you're not supposed to use this on 5 minutes. I've actually, like, ironically, I've never used a equilibrium before. We're actually coming back down. So I don't know what that means. Maybe we'll actually sweep out London lows at some point. But yeah, what I was getting at, it's like, you got the GAN box right here. So from here to here. But then we wouldn't be in a discount. I think, I don't fucking know how to use this shit. Just forget about the equilibrium. But basically, the point being, I could have entered pretty much right here. Oh, wait, let me, instead of a line, let me just do the full position. So I could have gone a long position right here. And I would have been able to put my stop loss down there and put my take profit all the way. Now I deleted the line. I kind of regret that. I could have put that shit all the way. Oh my god, hold on. 4 hour. It must have been this one. Yep. On this line. So let me go back on 5 minute. That would have been my take profit. That's a, okay, 1.16. That's actually kind of shit. Maybe I shouldn't put the stop loss that loosely. But yeah, point being, I didn't take a trade today because I was being an idiot. And I've learned from that. So now maybe that'll get me further. Maybe I'll upload this to YouTube. But no one can probably understand my gibberish. This is just like a diary that I'm gonna start so that I can look back and like analyze what I'm doing so that I can figure out mistakes that I'm doing and learn and improve at this. Because the Porsche is not gonna by itself. But that was it basically. Bye bye.